Corinth was a city of prosperity, a hub of trade and culture. Here, Sisyphus was born, a child whose name meant, the clever and cunning. From a young age, Sisyphus was fascinated by tales of heroes and gods, but he was different. He did not dream of being a hero sung about after his death. Instead, he wanted to control his own life and leave behind an eternal legacy. Gifted with a sharp mind, Sisyphus became a master manipulator. He had an uncanny ability to read people and exploit their weaknesses. His cleverness allowed him to build a thriving trade empire, turning Corinth into one of the richest cities in Greece. Yet, his success was not enough. Sisyphus wanted more. Gazing at the towering mountains from his palace balcony, he would wonder, why are we humans bound by death? Why should I surrender to fate? I will shape my own destiny. One quiet night, under the glowing moonlight, Sisyphus received an unusual visitor. It was Thanatos, the god of death, cloaked in black and carrying a gleaming chain. "Sisyphus," Thanatos announced, "it is time for your journey to the underworld." But instead of trembling in fear, Sisyphus met death's gaze with a spark of defiance. "Do you mean to take a great man like me without announcing my achievements to the gods? Surely someone of my stature deserves a celebration." Thanatos, unaccustomed to humans speaking with such boldness, hesitated. "What do you mean?" Sisyphus smiled slyly. "Look at this chain. Wouldn't you like me to show you how to make it more secure? If you return to the underworld with an unbreakable chain, Zeus himself will praise you." Curious, Thanatos handed the chain to Sisyphus, who skillfully turned the tables. In one swift motion, he bound death tightly. Thanatos struggled, but Sisyphus laughed. "Oh, death, you are now my prisoner, and the world is mine." Days turned into weeks, and souls no longer left their bodies. The mortally wounded lingered in agony, the elderly suffered in endless twilight, and chaos began to unravel the world. Prayers rose to Zeus, pleading for salvation from the unbearable limbo. Zeus, watching from Mount Olympus with growing anger, summoned the gods. "Sisyphus has crossed the line. Mortals cannot dictate the order of the cosmos." Determined to restore balance, Zeus descended to earth. The confrontation between Zeus and Sisyphus was charged with tension. Sisyphus attempted to charm Zeus with his silver tongue, but the god saw through his lies. "I will free death," Zeus declared, "but you will pay the price." Zeus unbound Thanatos, who was now more determined than ever to claim Sisyphus. Yet, Sisyphus had another trick up his sleeve. Before leaving for the underworld, Sisyphus instructed his wife not to offer the customary funeral rites. When he arrived in the underworld, he stood before Persephone, queen of the dead, feigning outrage. "Oh, great lady of the underworld, my soul has been disrespected. My wife failed to honor me with proper burial rites. Allow me one day to return and correct this insult." Moved by his apparent sorrow, Persephone reluctantly agreed. "One day, and then you must return." But once back among the living, Sisyphus celebrated his latest trick. "Even death cannot hold me," he boasted, living as though the gods themselves were powerless against him. The gods' fury knew no bounds. This time, Zeus decreed a punishment no mortal could escape. Sisyphus was seized and taken to a desolate valley surrounded by towering mountains. Pointing to a massive boulder, Zeus declared, "You will push this stone to the top of that mountain. Every time you reach the summit, it will roll back to the bottom, and you will begin again. This will be your task for eternity." Sisyphus began his labor. The boulder was unimaginably heavy, and sweat poured from his brow. Each time he neared the peak, the stone slipped from his grasp and thundered back down to the base. At first, Sisyphus raged. "Why? I am the master of my destiny. Why do you do this to me?" But the gods offered no reply. Over time, he began to confront his reality. Between each push of the boulder, Sisyphus reflected. Is it my ambition that brought me here? Or is it the god's fear of a mortal who dared defy them? In these moments, he found a strange kind of clarity. If this is my fate, I will own it. The myth leaves us with a profound question: was Sisyphus truly miserable, or did he find a kind of freedom in embracing the absurdity of his punishment? Though his task was futile, his defiant spirit turned him into a symbol of the unyielding human will. Dear viewers, please engage with us by leaving objective feedback in the comments and suggesting topics you'd like to learn more about. And, of course, show your support by subscribing to the channel. Have an amazing day.